Avengers Doomsday, my lordy wardy. We have some cool updates going on with Avengers Doomsday. All right, so where do we begin? So this movie right now is currently filming in the UK. Things are happening, things are moving. And for a while, we were getting some Avengers Doomsday set photos. Oh, sorry about that. Avengers Doomsday set photos. And it seemed pretty likely like it was the X Mansion. We couldn't be 100% sure, but it seemed like it was the X Mansion. We're gonna get to those. See here, we would get like rubble, and there was statues of there. It seemed like probably the courtyard of the X Mansion, and there was going to be a scene where the X Mansion gets destroyed, as it typically does in a lot of the X-Men movies, and maybe it's an incursion happening. This looks like space debris, like maybe it's people from the 616 Marvel universe going into the Fox X-Men world and being like, hey, this is happening. Let's team up, right? Well, we got a new set photo revealed that lets us know we're probably going to see some Sentinels, baby. We're going to see some Sentinels. Now, if you don't remember, let's see, X-Men Sentinels. These are always such a classic part of just X-Men comic books, cartoons, and even the movies. See, here we have the comic book version of the Sentinels. Here we have the Days of Future Past version, which I remember hating this design, but the Sentinels were freaking threatening in that movie, dude. Like, you want to create some villains that I felt could actually were a real danger. These guys, not this exact version, but the ones they later came out with, don't look comic book accurate. But man, these were great Sentinels, and they were a big threat. And those scenes where they're just killing mutants, I was like, dude, it's heartbreaking. It was really cool stuff. Those were my favorite parts of Days of Future Past, right? And we even got it in X-Men 3. There was like a short, like they were in the war room, which is like their practice room, and this was their Sentinel. They were practicing fighting a Sentinel. I don't know, just as like a training exercise. But now, here with some set photos of the X Mansion and some destruction going on, people have noticed that there are what appears to be a Sentinel body, a lot more comic book accurate, and it'll just be something that appears in the movie. And I love it. Yeah, see, already people peeking, coming, peeking. They were terrifying in Days of Future Past. Yeah, they were. So at first I couldn't really see it. So let me try to help you guys out. It looks like that is the chest piece of the Sentinel. So here, like if we look at the comic book, so it's like we're looking at the chest piece, it's like it's laying on its back. That's what we're kind of seeing here. So here's like the circular area, the chest. Here goes in one of the arms, and then here we lean in to the abs and legs and torso. And in fact, here, if I pull up the whatchamacallit, the account that's been kind of showing off these set photos, they've even taken some more where you can see like it's the flat out lower torso of the Sentinel. I think they just have it covered up for people like this who are taking drone shots and all that stuff. But that's cool, dude. That also lets you know they're building them practically. Dude, that thing's just gonna be late. That's awesome. That's gonna be a great effect in the movie. Just an actual Sentinel laying on the floor. Here you can see kind of its feet. Let me see if I get again here another shot of the chest and whatnot. Okay, so let's try to examine what this could be and what this is. In my mind, the way I picture this is I feel like we're obviously in Avengers Doomsday. I think we're going to be cutting to a bunch of different universes until they all end up colliding for some reason. So we'll be like in our main MCU, we'll be in the Fantastic Four universe if that's still around, and we'll be in the Fox universe. I think it would be so cool if when we cut to the X-Men world, they're just in the middle of a battle already. They're in the middle of a mission, and they're not even worried about Doom, incursions, or anything going on the multiverse, because right now they're focused on what they have to fight, and that Sentinels attacking the mansion. How cool would that be as like a starting off scene to reintroduce the Fox X-Men characters to some people who haven't seen them in a while, right? It's just like these Sentinels stomping in, clumping, and then you have James Marsden, Cyclops, you have Professor Xavier, all these people just fighting. And once they're done with that, they're like, whoa, there's a hole in the sky. I feel like that's what will end up happening. It's something like that. Someone said scroll. There's more pictures. Is there more pictures? I don't see any more pictures. I'll keep looking. Sentinel. It's just these are the foot and whatnot. I'll keep looking to see if there's more. But uh, again, these are the statues and whatnot. I do want to point out, because they're trying to be kind of clickbaity, they're getting some photos of other things. So this isn't from Avengers Doomsday. This is from the He-Man movie. And they did get who I was just talking about, Patrick Schwarzenegger. He was on set for some reason. Yeah, but that's not for Avengers Doomsday. He's apparently filming something else in London. But boy, there's been rumors that he'll end up being Cyclops in the universe. Please. I would love him as I thought he was great in the recent season of White Lotus. He's got the face, he's got the structure. Just even somebody already Photoshop and tint those things red. Let me see if someone already did in the comments. I bet they did. No, nobody photoshopping those eyes. Oh, there he goes. I knew it. There's always that one fan that's gonna do it. Peak. Perfect, dude. This is Scott Summers. I see you there, buddy. I see you there. And so yeah, but from what I understand, this isn't from Avengers Doomsday. He's filming something else. But anyways, back to the Sentinels. That's just a cool piece to have it in there. I wonder how much continuity they're even going to bring in from the previous movies. Like, is the original 3 X-Men movies canon? Is Days of Future Past canon? Any of that stuff canon, or is just the general idea of who they were is canon? Does that make sense? Because by this point, this would be like the 5th time they fight Sentinels at their mansion and whatnot. The other thing I wanted to bring up was from My Time to Shine Hello, which they brought up another interesting tidbit about what is going to be going down in this movie. So let me see here. All right, so they have here with X-Men. They said, so about the X-Men, here's what's happening. No new cast will be introduced in the upcoming Avengers film because the focus is on giving closure to the original characters. Casting hasn't started yet. Director Jake Schreier, who we're hearing is rumored to be the director, that's the director of Thunderbolts, hasn't officially signed on. That's why Sadie Sink isn't playing Jean Grey, and that the role Kevin Feige is specific. The reason he's bringing that up is because there was like a rumored cast for the X-Men, but I also just don't believe it right now. This is from Jeff Snyder, who right, wrong sometimes, but I mean, this is also the guy who literally told us Sadie Sink was playing Jean Grey, and now he's saying these people. Now, would I love these faces for X-Men cast? Yeah, especially Patrick Schwarzenegger as Cyclops. But starting off here, we would have Angel, played by Nicholas Eggleston, who's He-Man right now. Drew Starkey as Iceman. I'm just happy they would have Iceman in the movie. Daisy Edgar Jones as Jean Grey. I don't mind Jean Grey, but I'm just like, if we're just going to always revert to her like Phoenix story, I just hope they make it interesting, because we've seen the Phoenix story done a lot. And after a while, it gets cliche about my powers are hurting me. I would hope they do something new with it in the MCU version. Logan Lerman as Beast is an interesting choice. It feels like they're going kind of like the Nicholas Hoult route of, having Beast just kind of be like this scrawny, nerdy kid that just ends up turning into Beast, which I guess would be fine. I like Logan Lerman. But again, these guys aren't 100% confirmed. It's just there. And that also makes sense to me, is why would they already have them cast? And I don't know if introducing them in Doomsday would be the best way to go, because you're paying homage to the old cast members. We already have confirmed so many older cast members there, from Xavier and Cyclops and Beast. So it's like you would want to keep respect that and not overflood it, unless it's like a post-credit scene. Yeah. They're the 5 original X-Men. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, they are the 5 original. Jean looking good. Jean is great. She was in that movie Feast, I think it was called, with Sebastian Stan. Really great horror movie. But yeah, those are the updates right now with Doomsday and them. I just thought those photos were awesome, and it'd just be cool if we get a scene like this, where this is the opening into showing them off. They're just all in the middle of battle, taking down some stuff, and then it's like, oh wait, something else is going on. Multiverse? Let's take care of that. Or it could just end up being a scene in the war room again, where they're just having a training exercise.